Here's an entry-level upper day B that you can use as a high-frequency split.
Before watching this video, I recommend that you go watch upper day A, as there's going to be a lot of similarities, and I will not be giving explanations for anything that's repeated. This split will be structured vaguely in order to susceptibility to muscle damage with lower voluntary activation muscles being placed first, but I highly recommend that you reorder the split to fit your specific needs, whether that be for enjoyment, goals, or personal restrictions. This is also not my split, nor how I train personally. To start off, we will be working on the back again. Since upper day A was meant to be a mix of traps and lats, so we'll focus on the traps, this time it's going to be a little bit more specific. Starting off with a shoulder adduction movement, I highly recommend a wide grip lat pull down or pull-ups due to their accessibility. This will help leverage the iliac and lumbar divisions slightly better, but you'll still be hitting all of the lats. After the shoulder adduction movement, I recommend throwing in a Kelso shrug or two with around 90 degrees of abduction. Or you can do a transverse row if you'd like to incorporate the rear delts more via shoulder extension. Next, we'll move on to a shoulder press in the frontal plane. Since the majority of you watching probably want to work on your side delts more, I'd recommend staying closer to the lengthened to mid position on this movement, as you'll be working more side delts until you reach about 90 degrees of abduction, where the anterior delts will have better relative leverage. Although whatever position you hit the movement in, as long as you have a decent range of motion, you will be able to train all the 7 delts except for the rear delts, as they are not going to contribute to shoulder adduction. Moving on to the triceps, we'll be doing another tricep extension and or a JM press before the extension. If you really want to grow the lateral head significantly better, as I mentioned in my previous upper day, the lateral head grows better with presses. Since I recommended that you focus on the mid to lengthened position for the shoulder press, you will not have as much stimulus on your triceps from pressing as you would if you were focusing on the shortened position. So that's why a JM press is optional, but still highly recommended. To finish up the arms, while this may be a controversial pick, I would recommend doing a mid position elbow flexion movement like a dumbbell curl or any other cable curl where your arms form a 90-degree angle with the cable. The mid position curl just allows for a little bit more brachioradialis involvement and tends to be more in line with the strength curve of the biceps in a curl, which just makes the movement a bit more comfortable to perform. Although the brachioradialis may have better relative leverage in this position, the biceps will still be the prime mover due to their relative size. Finally, to end off upper day B, a purely horizontal adduction movement in the mid to lengthened position. Pecs have significantly better leverage over the anterior delts to perform horizontal adduction. For this reason, a fly is going to be a good option to isolate your chest. Since this is the last movement in the workout, I recommend doing it unilaterally. Unilateral movements may allow us to overcome the bilateral force deficit, but they tend to also cause a little bit more damage and fatigue. Before you knock this movement, here's Jordan Peters doing it, and he's about 5'6", 300 pounds. It's also up to you whether or not you'd like to do this as a fly or a fly press. The main difference is honestly just going to be the length of the moment arm. While a fly press may eliminate some of the load on the biceps, it's really not that deep, just do whatever feels comfortable. And that wraps up the second upper day. And here's what the upper day will look like in full.